Welcome back to this episode of Small Project Alert.
I'm gonna start these sleeves today. It's gonna be gorgeous.
So welcome back to the show. This is Small Project Alert, and I have opted to do the sleeves as the small project on this dress. And the first thing I want to do is add a big bold statement piece to the front of the finger elastic, and I'm going to frame it with some beautiful AB stones. My go-to pattern is always a floret, so I did 3 different florets framing the gigantic aqua blue stone for the center, and then I mimicked the frame from the back of the dress with those aqua rectangles and just completely framed the bottom line of this sleeve. And I think it just gives it that extra pop, extra cohesiveness to match the dress. And now what I want to do is kind of give myself a map on where I want to place second frame that's going to go just maybe 1.5 inches above the top frame in aquamarine. It's going to be so pretty. I can't wait for you to see the rest of it get done. It's really giving me princess vibes, and I always try to make my long sleeves just very opulent, very decorative, very detailed, because to do all of the beautiful hand motions that you do when you're dancing, it just gives it an extra pop of sparkle while you're floating on the floor.
How you like it?
It's really nice.
Yeah?
Very nice.
I was originally gonna put like small brooches in between, but then I was like, no, that's gonna be doing too much.
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
Thank you. I had started this one here, and then Judy brung, this is a rack, and then Judy brung me this and said it was a cup.
I'm not gonna lie, I put that little clip in because I absolutely love it when my boss loves what I do on a dress, and I wanted you to hear it. And next, what I did here was add those scalloped edges that I did on the dress. I mimicked that same design in AB crystals around the bottom of this top frame here. I think it's coming out amazing. So the next step into bringing this beautiful sleeve to life is adding a frame of the same color aqua stones, but in a smaller pair, kind of like a crown, just to frame the palm of her wrist. Not the palm of her wrist, Tiffany. To frame the top of her wrist. And I think it's coming together nice. So I have this beautiful, it's a Swarovski turquoise flat stone that I use as an accent inside each one of those scallops, and I love how that looks. It just gives it, like I said, a more opulent kind of feel. It's giving crown, it's giving princess, it's giving water goddess, it's giving, and I love exactly what it is giving. So here I'm adding long strokes of the glue because I'm using these elongated kind of navettes in the same aqua blue color, just to elongate the design up the wrist until I decide to sprinkle up. But I love the way it's coming out. So in this step, what I did was add all of my 30s and my 20s because this is the time to sprinkle up. And I normally sprinkle up in a flesh tone or a tone that's matching whichever color the sleeve is, but this client wanted a baby blue aqua sprinkle all the way up to maybe her armpit, and I intend to give her just that graduated feel of a really heavy sleeve into a really light sleeve at the top and slowly fading away. And that is what I will give her. So what you see me doing right now is fading in the size 20 in between each one of those size 30s up maybe about 5 inches from that band of size 30s that I put in. And I got all of the 16s in. I believe I used over 600 flat backs just to do the sprinkle in this sleeve. It came out amazingly, but it was very time consuming. I mean, I'm sure you can understand how tedious stoning can be. So I'll just continue to move forward, move up higher. I got all of my 20s placed, and now I'm gonna go in with the size 16s, even smaller. It's starting to kind of give a ocean bubble kind of look, and that is exactly what you want. My favorite seamstress, Judy, she likes to call how we say it's a sprinkle, she calls it bubbling. And she's not wrong for thinking that it's because it does look like bubbling, especially in this aqua blue. It's definitely giving water vibes. And I love it. And the sleeve is done. Isn't it gorgeous? Doesn't it look royal? It's definitely giving princess to me, and I love that for the owner. And I just graduated in size from very heavy to very lightly faded, from bigger chunky stones to smaller tiny stones, all the way up toward the armpit region. And it gives the illusion of stones just floating on her skin when you do it on top of the nude colored mesh. And it's just gorgeous. Sometimes I get mesmerized by the stones. Even after all of these years, the stones will always get me. It's gorgeous. Now that one is done, we're on to the next. So I have it pinned on the dress like that toward me because I always want to just go back and look at it just to check for density, equality really, to make sure that it's equally as dense in the stones as it is on the other sleeve. And I think I did it. I think it looks good. So this dress is almost done. Got the sleeves done, being held up because they were heavy, but it's gorgeous. Now let's peel them off. So you want to make sure to be very gentle because the stones are on a mesh base. While it might be power mesh, it is still a mesh, and E6000 bonds very strong. That is why on the sleeve you see that I use this contact kind of fabric that we use to stone on other than clear hard plastic, because this fabric doesn't adhere to the glue. It just keeps a nice waxy coat in between the glue and that fabric, so I'm able to lift it off of that fabric and keep all of the stones on the sleeve. Sometimes you have to go in with your fingers and kind of finagle all the way around the sleeve just to loosen that bond between the fabric and the mesh, but once you get it, it's easy to start to pull them off. So what I'm doing here is, as I'm loosening that E6000 bond from the fabric to the mesh, I'm sliding it up my makeshift mannequin arm, just because I want to make sure that everything stays bonded. And I think I need to unhook the top and the shoulder so I can get a better grip and pull it from the inside out. Sometimes that just works better than trying to go at it from a wrist point of view. The wrist can be very tricky. You want to make sure that before you start to yank on it the way that you saw me yanking on it, you really want to give it a good 24 hours to set on the sleeves before you'll really be able to just pull the mesh off of your contact fabric as easy and have it slide out as easy as it does for me. You really want to give it that 24 hours. So pro tip, if your sleeves are mesh, give it at least 24 hours to set. So much again for watching. This dress is gorgeous. If you missed a step, please feel free to email me at tiffanysotalented@gmail.com. You could always leave a comment on the dress where you missed a step or you feel like I didn't cover something that you feel is vital that you needed to see. Again, send me an email, tiffanysotalented@gmail.com. I am offering coaching. If you feel like you need more personal assistance, feel free.